Hello, this is Rock Pony Z Reviews. Yeah, this is Rock Pony Z Reviews, and I'm here to review another game, and I'm here with another game review on what will be a game series, but is currently a series of 2 games known as Borderlands. Before I start this, I just want to say a few things about Master Review. Master Review, whilst talking about Dragon Age, I may have accidentally delivered some wrong information. Like when I was talking about the second game, there was a part where I said Lovering, where I meant to say what I meant to say was Kirkwall. Was Kirkwall, which and anything else, little things like that, which I do apologise for. I am new. I am new, so I do apologise for that. If you've not followed me yet on Tumblr, if you want to, it's RockPonyZ Reviews with a Z at the end. And after this video, something I forgot to mention in my previous one, but any comments, any feelings, thoughts, just put them down, below there in the comment section. I'm trying not to be harsh or anything. I am trying to get into this whole talking to webcam review thing. Okay, so let's get to it before I ramble on too much. Okay, so Borderlands. Borderlands is people would class it as an RPG, but personally, I don't. I would call Borderlands a first-person shooter with RPG elements, but basically, I would mostly call Borderlands a first-person shooter. I wouldn't call it an RPG. However, it does have RPG elements, but overall, it just doesn't have that feel for me. Okay, so I'm gonna just jump right to this. Borderlands 1 starts with an opening, a little animated, sketchy opening where Marcus, when I say sketchy, I mean it's like drawings and drawings, kind of a mappy. It has a map drawing. It has a sketchy. It has an opening where it's like a sketchy pictured. A sketchy pictured opening with Marcus's voice over it. Marcus is one of the characters. You'll find out. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, Marcus describes the legend of the Vault. The Vault is believed to be located on a planet called Pandora, where our story starts. And we start with our story begins in a bus which Marcus is driving. Starts off with a great opening song, really good opening. Yeah, really good opening as it introduces the characters, the optional characters: Lilith the Siren, Mordecai the Hunter, Brick. It says as himself basically. He's like he's like a brawler character. He uses fists to punch. His specialty is using his fists to punch and kill things. And Roland the soldier. So yeah, those are the 4 playable characters. Those are the 4 playable characters. And you're on your way to a drop-off point where one of you will get off, depending on what character you choose. Which one you each character has their own they have their own styles. Obviously, Lilith's a siren, so she's got powers. She can go invisible. She can go invisible and run through and move through enemy and just run through enemies without being seen. However, obviously it's her special power, so it only lasts so long. Brick, like I said, specialty punching things. That's his big move. And I'd guess with weapon specialty, and I'd assume he gets bonuses for heavy weaponry. Mordecai, he's a sniper. I'd say if you're gonna play as Mordecai, go for the sniper sidearm, because he is really good with those weapons. Because you'll get a bonus with those weapons, and he is pretty good with them. His big move is he's got this bird called Bloodwing, really good, who's really awesome. He basically throws Bloodwing at the enemy, and Bloodwing kills him. Roland, the soldier, has his turret. That's his big move. With Roland, I would probably suggest for weapons SMGs, maybe a sniper, maybe SMGs, that kind of thing. But I suppose it depends how you want to play the character. Like you don't have to play as Mordecai and go for the sniper, but I mean, you have like 4 weapon slots, so you could specialize in SMGs if you wanted for Mordecai, but it's optional. But so I think characters get bonuses. Characters get bonuses for the weapon specialty. So Mordecai would get bonuses on the sniper. Roland would get bonuses on the like SMGs and all. So obviously, so yeah, those are the characters. I would say the characters are really good. The characters, they're I'd say they're likable, but you don't get much. You don't get much story on them, not really. You just know that they're there to look for the votes. And also on story, I find as a game, it does get rather tedious, because you land on you get to your drop-off point, the town of Firestone, where you meet Claptrap, who's a great character, little robot, he's a little robot. He escorts you into Firestone, and from then onwards, you're basically doing side missions and also main story missions, all leading to the vault, all which will eventually lead to finding the vault. But I find with this, well, one, I find it gets to a point for me anyway, when it gets hard to separate, to know what's a side mission and what's a main story mission. It becomes less clear, I think, as the game goes on, as the game proceeds forward. Story in general for the game, it's not got much story. It's very, like I said, it's basically a vault hunter seeking out the vaults. But I suppose I do sort of like it for that. It has a one individual on a mission kind of feel to it, which is hard to explain, but I think it has that sort of feel to it. It has that, like, you know, like one individual on a mission kind of feel, which is yeah, which I like. I like that. But overall, as a game, it isn't brilliant. However, it was the first game, and it was the first game, so it was the first game, and they were basically, I'd say that was like the experimental stage for 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 Borderlands, the let's try this and see if it works kind of stage, or let's introduce these characters and see where it goes. Let's introduce the world. It was basically Borderlands saying, this is our starting point. Let's see what people think, and then where we can take it. So then that leads to Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 takes place after the first Borderlands. Basically, it says at the beginning, once again, that sketchy opening, sketchy cartoon-looking opening with Marcus, Marcus explaining. Marcus, I should explain this earlier. Marcus sells he throughout the game he'll sell you guns, ammo. He's which is really handy in the second game, because he's right there in not New Haven, he's right there in I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the city. It'll hopefully come back to me. So yeah, this you get this sketchy cartoon opening again, and he's basically describing how the vaults. He's describing how. He's explaining how the vaults. How he's explaining what was discovered in the vault. A container of tentacles and disappointment. That's all I'll say for that. Which in itself is a spoiler, so for anyone planning to play the game, I do apologise. But I just assume this is a game which a lot of people have played. Yeah, so yeah, basically the vault there was disappointment inside. Wasn't what people were expecting to find in there. However, the opening of the vault gave birth to not gave birth, but it brought about iridium, which is a substance which this like purple substance which has quite a few which is pretty useful for giving you a power boost, I suppose, especially for sirens anyway. I don't know about anyone else, but for anyone else it might kill them, but it's good for sirens to give them a power boost. It's used for experimental reasons, like on a certain really good character later on in the game who dies, which is really gutting. I won't say too much more on that. So yeah, it gives it the vault. People discover iridium through the vault opening, and the second game. Okay, so yeah, the second game story-wise is the storyline of the second game is you're joining a rebellion, I suppose you could say, Roland's rebellion, to stop a man called Handsome Jack, who, as the game goes on, you discover his plans, and yeah, as the game goes on, you discover his plans, and you have to stop him. Basically, you have to stop him, kill him. Yeah, you have to stop him, kill him, save the Borderlands, basically. You find out that he wants to resurrect this machine-like being, I suppose you could describe it as, called the Warrior, which I've not got to the ending of the game, but from what but I did watch a clip of it on YouTube of the final fight, and the Warrior looks pretty quite the beast, quite the beast of a boss, and this is the final boss too. It's the final boss too, so I assume it won't be easy. So yeah, so I assume it won't be easy. So yeah, that's basically the story of the game. The characters, so with this game basically, the characters are, in many ways they are better. The graphics in many ways are better, more in your face, more advanced looking. Something I will say was I'm here about the graphics of Borderlands. People, which this really grinds on my nerves, but people like to describe the graphics in Borderlands as cartoony. It really annoys me when people do this, because it's not cartoony. The graphics are done so the game has a comic, they're made so that the game has a graphic novel texture. They're made to give the game the graphics are supposed to give the game a graphic novel texture. So, which I think people who know what I mean will, when they're playing the games, they'll be able to see this. But it really does annoy me because it's not cartoony in the slightest. I mean I wouldn't say so anyway. So it really bugs. But the graphics are much improved. The storyline's obviously much improved. I mean, obviously I just described the basics of the storyline, but it goes into more detail. You discover more about characters. One character in particular called Angel, who is in the first game, and her job was to guide you to the vault. You find out that she wasn't what she seemed. You discover more about the characters from the first game who you fight alongside, like Lilith, Mordecai, Brick, Roland. You get more input on them as characters, which I liked, because in the first game it was basically, they were likable, but it was basically mercenary, vault hunters on a mission. That was all that was really there, really. So yeah, with this game you know more about them. You also know more about, as the game goes on, you find these audio logs, where the characters who you have the option to play as, you're hearing them talk like an audio diary, about various things depending on the character. Like Zero. Zero is an assassin. He's basically like Mordecai. Sniper, sidearm. That's the weapons he would get bonuses in. There's Maya, the siren for Borderlands 2. She's really awesome. You find audio logs about her. Her looking into her being of about her looking into being a siren. I've only found so many of these audio logs, so I don't know too much about them in detail. But basically what I'm saying is you get more on the characters from the first game, you get more depth on those guys, and you also get more depth on the characters who you have the options to play as. There's also two great DLC characters. Gage, who's a necromancer, and Sorry, I'm forgetting names. He's a psycho. You'll know who psychos are when you play the games. They've basically lost their minds. Basically, psychos have basically lost their minds. He's more of a he's different from other psychos in the way that he has got a bit of his old self still within him, still there somewhere. It's just hard to bring it. He just finds it really hard to bring it out as an individual. So yeah, the characters are much improved. So yeah, the characters, the graphics, the leveling up system, which I forgot to mention in the first Borderlands, the leveling up system is also much improved. With the leveling up system, you get the feeling that your character's actually improving, whereas with Borderlands 1, you can tell that they're improving, but you don't see it half as much as you do in Borderlands 2. In Borderlands 2, it becomes pretty clear. Like with Maya, you can eventually get this ability to deflect bullets, and I find as I play through, I can really tell that that's happening. Like an enemy fires, and I actually see it happen. Over you get these badass rankings, which give you bonuses in gunfire, in accuracy, and those also you can also see those take effect. Whereas you didn't have that on Borderlands 1. You basically, the more you fought with your snipers, your SMGs, whatever you were using, the more they went up in level. So it's yeah, you in Borderlands 2, I find you get more of a sense that your characters getting better. Also, I'd say the side characters have improved too. Tiny Tina, yeah, she's pretty brilliant. Let's see. There are characters in the first game that you see in the second that are still there, like Scooter. He's pretty funny. His sister Ellie, also pretty funny. But like for me, the best side character would be Tiny Tina. She is so funny, and there's a great DLC when she's doing this D&D kind of like campaign, like Dungeons and Dragons, except she calls it Bunkers and Badasses. It's a really fun DLC. Which is another thing too. I've not played anything of the DLCs on Borderlands 1, but on Borderlands 2, the DLCs for me make it all the more fun. However, what I will say about both Borderlands 1 and 2 is, overall Borderlands, it's not too heavy on. I find it's not too heavy on lore, so which is good. It makes it more of a fun world. It's as you go through the game, it's basically bad guy, basically psychos, bandits, shoot, get through, continue said mission. Basically, it's like you have missions where obviously there's story there, more in the second one than the first. But as you go through the missions, it's all out shooting. There's not too much lore attached. There's just a bit of basic lore about sirens and Hyperion, which you'll find out more on in the second game. So I would say overall 2 great games there, and obviously in the second game your characters, like I said, your character joins the Resistance in, I still can't remember the name of the city, I do apologise. Your character joining that rebellion and to stop Handsome Jack, just to quickly recap that. But Handsome Jack 2, great villain. I mean, on the way through the like as you're going through the story, he especially at the start, he contacts you through the Echo he contacts you through your Echo communication device, and he's basically mocking you, telling you to kill yourself to save him the job. He's quite a dick, but he's funny. He's a great antagonist, which is also quite interesting, because you find out as it goes on that maybe he's more of the anti-hero. He's doing the right thing in the wrong way. Which, once again, I'm sorry for anyone who's not played the games. Sorry for the spoiler. So yeah, those are the first two games. Then there's the pre-sequel, which is coming out, which is I believe it is actually out, which I have not played, but I've heard good things. I've heard good things about it. I know of the characters somewhat. I know it's about Handsome Jack's rise to power. I know you have like jetpacks now, fuel oxygen powered jetpacks. From what I've seen of Borderlands, the pre-sequel, that's what it's called, it looks really good. It looks really fun. They've really gone to, once again, another level with it. This is what I like about Borderlands. It's like with every game, you're seeing a new level of brilliance with the game mechanics, with the gameplay, with the graphics. It's awesome. It's awesome. So yeah, I would say great games. Play the first one. I'd say play the first one, because I find it is good. It is good in its own way. But I would say the second one is so much better. It really is. As for the pre-sequel, I would definitely say play that, because that looks so awesome as well. So yeah, that concludes this review. Sorry if earlier on in it I was a bit jittery, a bit rambly. Like I said, I am new. I am trying to get into the swing of things here. So yeah, that's this concludes my review on the Borderlands series. Thank you. Yeah, this concludes my review on the Borderlands series. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment below. Maybe like the video, or follow me maybe on follow me on YouTube. Well, sorry, subscribe on YouTube, or follow me on Twitter. It's up to you. But yeah, for now, this is Rock Pony Z Reviewz. Bye.